Kira Walters. She's Assistant Manager in the Business Advisory Services Unit, to talk to us about competitive advantage for MSMEs, the edge of differentiation. Good morning, Kira Walters. How you doing? Welcome to Hotline.
Good morning, Dr. Taylor. Good morning to your listeners. Thank you for having me. Happy New Year.
I was about to say, because it's like I don't hear from you. I don't wonder if you're malice way.
It's been a long time, right?
Yes. Take the hurricane, blow you away and all of that too. But you're back with us.
Yes, gracefully. And it's always a pleasure to
Absolutely.
get to share with your audience. So thank you for having us. Today, I'm looking forward to telling your audience and Jamaica about how it is that we can assist, the JBDC can assist in supporting them in getting their businesses that competitive edge, that ability to stand out and sustainably keep themselves around, have a legacy. So that's really what competitive advantage is about. When I think about it, it's about performance and mastery of what it is that you're doing. And it's not just about the quick thing that you can say, okay, I'm going to do some customer service. I'm going to focus on customer service, and I'm going to make that be the thing that I stand out on. Because I bring that up because that's one of the things that people often, especially small businesses, when they come in, they think that, okay, I can just say I'm going to be excellent at customer service, and that is going to be what is going to make, my business successful, because people are going to stick with me. But it really goes deeper than just having people who are pleasant and smiling and having the right tone talking to your customers. Because customer service speaks to having satisfied customers, not just ones that feel nice because you talk to them nice. And you have to build a competent business that is effective in delivering your value proposition, which is what you had promised them when you said the sweet things in that advertisement or that promotion that you did. It's about being able to deliver on it, So it's looking at all of the components that enable a business to deliver on that promise. So we're looking at the people, yes, but we're also looking at the other resources, like what technology are you using, what processes and systems do you have in place, do you have the right kind of equipment, do you have the right kind of knowledge in your team, do you have the right kind of capital, the right kind of money for the type of business that it is that you're doing, and do you have the right people, the right partnerships, what functions it is that you need to be really, really hitting to ensure that you're effective, you're efficient, and at the bottom line, you're profitable. And not only are you doing this well, but you are not operating in isolation. There are other players in the market. We call it competition, which is why it has competitive advantage at it. Because yes, you can be doing things well, but how easy is it for the others around who are doing the same thing to do what you are doing? How that means you're looking at how you can compete now. How can you go back to master of performance? I don't like the word dominance, but sometimes it comes down to that, because if you're aiming to be a leader, as a lot of our businesses put in their mission and vision, that they want to be the number one and they want to be the first locally or in the world, then you're talking about dominance. So you have to really, really be zoning in on your efficiency across the business model, across all of the components that make your business model work. And that's not something that we often see in a totality when our MSMEs come to us. And it's something that we try to target in our training programs that we offer. So we have a series of training courses that target each business right along the stages of development. So from ideation all the way to when they're scaling up. And each stage requires a different kind of focus in your strategy development and how it is that you're looking at the business model development. And so each of these courses, we have one coming up in about 2 weeks. I think it's February 8th. February 3rd. Pardon me. That is going to be targeting the very first stage. So it's the fundamentals of business. And yes, strategy starts from this very beginning stage when you're ideating and just coming up with your concept. And we start with the entrepreneur's mindset, where we're looking at how open are you to even thinking strategically, because not everyone thinks strategically. Some people just think about what I want to do right now and the immediate result that I want this minute or tomorrow. But strategic thinking is about long-term thinking, and it requires a lot of other characteristics and elements that the entrepreneur needs to be mindful of, and if they don't have them yet as part of their arsenal, then they need to work on them. So we target that first. And then we show them some the basics of what it is it means to start your business properly. So we look at business formalization. What are the things that you need to comply with from a legislative and whatever kind of things that you need to make sure that you're regulatory. That's the word I'm looking for, on a regulatory perspective. Mm-hmm. Then we look at how are you thinking from the customer perspective now? So how are design thinking? How are you incorporating the desires, the needs, the wants of your potential consumer in designing the product or service that it is that you're going to be offering? And the value proposition, how is it that you really get into understanding this customer, how you then create a deep understanding of the problem or the issues and the needs that they have, such that you carve your value proposition, you make that statement, that promise that you're making about what it is that you're going to do for them, what it is that you're going to give to them, and how it is that it's going to enhance or benefit their lives. You do it so well that when that particular customer hears your message, they know that it is you that they're talking about, or that you know that this product is the product for them. So we look at that in module 2. And in module 3, we're looking at marketing fundamentals, where we're looking at all of the P's. I don't know if your audience, we talk on this program so long, but I'm taking it for granted that your audience knows some about some of the basics, the marketing piece, the product, the price, the promotion, and those things. And if you don't know, come to the training. We're looking at all of these elements and how it is that you put them together at this stage of business and ensure that you are setting the right foundation. And the fourth and final module is looking at product, service, costing, and your startup costs. This is something that even I wouldn't say just micro, even some big business that come here sometimes, you would be surprised that they have gaps in assessing the cost that it takes to deliver their value. And I'm not talking about just the product now, because sometimes when we talk about price, costing and price, people think it's just the product alone that they're going to cost, what goes into it. And so they look at the obvious things, the raw materials and so on. But there are some other component costs that they sometimes leave out, and it affects their profitability because they're not pricing properly, and then it means that their margins are not as good as they should be, and that means they're not making as much money as they could be, which is not giving them the competitive advantage that every business ultimately is in operation to reach. So that's an example of how it is that JPDC would help our audience through a module. There are others. We have this one I mentioned, is Fundamentals of Business Workshop, and it starts February 3rd, and it's every week on a Tuesday. Now, I think the payment deadline and registration is on Friday, this Friday, the 30th of January. So if you haven't yet, go on to our website or just make a phone call to us and get registered. The cost, I don't even want to call it a cost. The contribution for registration is just $4,000.
Yeah.
It is very accessible. There is no.
Just be careful that you don't get charged for trading in animals. No, because the monkey money that. I can't.
Understand?
So when I saw the
Exactly.
$4,000 in, I was like, huh? I was wondering if
No,
it's like US
it's not
dollars
a
or
cost.
something like that, whatever. But it's
It's not really a cost. It is really a registration fee, just
oh, okay. Yes.
to ensure that we said we get a little commitment. You know, there's no
Yes.
skin in the game, and this
Yeah.
is not really a lot of skin at all. This is maybe
Right.
like a little tip off of your fingernail.
Yeah. So Kira Walters, here's
Yeah.
what I'm saying, and I want and you're not giving me this as a script to say that when you look at the data, you know, I love to look at data in regard to the way in which small businesses have gone on in this country. We don't have registered all of them, but the ones that you know about, and when you input and you adjust for the interventions, you can see a steady upward curve among those enterprises that have engaged the JBDC at different stages. So you have enough evidence that the expertise and the assistance that comes from the JBDC does
Make a
lead
difference.
to positive results. So the fundamentals of business workshop is actually really, really worth it because it's coming from a credible source and you have a proven track record. And I'm saying this it's not a shameless or any kind of plug, it's just the facts.
I don't
Bless you.
feel anyway.
No, true me at all.
It's true. No hubris.
All right, got me.
Thank you
so,
very much.
So just before we go again, can you tell us the workshop is going to be February the 3rd? Right, it's a...
It's a virtual workshop, so it doesn't matter where you are. You don't even need to be in Jamaica. You
Right.
can just log on to our website at jbdc.net and you will see a nice pop-up come up. You don't have to search for it, and you can click on it and go through the registration process. Or if you wish to call in, you can call 618-06 or 05 or 758-3966-8. And we will sort you out.
And gotcha. Thank you so much for being with us here. Kira Walters, Assistant Manager, Business and Advisory Service Unit at the JBDC. We just did Grow Your Business. Thank you so much. Walk good,
Thank you for
but don't
having
walk
me.
too far.